I've got a great recipe for you today. We're gonna make Cowboy Pasta Salad. It has ground beef, your usual pasta salad ingredients, and bacon. This is gonna be a crowd pleaser for your next barbecue, your summer gathering, or any gathering. People have been making this year round. I love my dogs. They like to bark when I'm on a video. Hi, I'm Carrie with eatingonadime.com, and we're on a mission to help you save time and money in the kitchen. You're going to love today's recipe, and you can grab the recipe by going to eatingonadime.com and just searching Cowboy Pasta Salad, or we have it linked in the description below. Let's go make this recipe. So we boiled some water, and then we're gonna go ahead and dump in bowtie pasta, and we're just going to cook it according to the directions, and we want to cook it till al dente. So what that means, like this one says you're going to cook it for like 12 to 13 minutes, and we're going to subtract about a minute or two to make sure that it's still kind of, it doesn't get soggy. You want the pasta not to get soggy. Now while the pasta is boiling, we're going to go ahead and fire up our heat. I'm going to cook it on high heat, and we're going to brown our ground beef. We're going to do 1 pound of ground beef, and we're going to completely brown it and drain off the grease. I really love this kitchen tool that I bought on Amazon. We'll have a link for that as well, but it's my favorite tool to make sure you get really ground up, like you separate it into little pieces, which is perfect when you're doing a pasta salad. Okay, so we've got it all nice and brown, and as you can see how we have that pretty little crumble, and that's from this tool. It's less than 20 bucks, so I just thought I'd tell you about it if you haven't gotten one yet. And we'll have a link for that in the description. Our pasta's finished, so we're gonna just pour it in the colander. And instead of just letting it sit, we're gonna actually run cold water onto it. So the reason we run the cold water is we are stopping the cooking process. If you just leave your pasta sitting there, it'll continue to cook. But if we cool it down, then the pasta will stay at the al dente that it already is. So that way it'll stay nice and firm for our pasta salad. Then once we've run the cold water and it's cool to touch, we know that we've done a good job, and you can turn it off, and then you can just let this sit until we're ready to combine our pasta salad. We also cooked some bacon. Now I just used pre-cooked bacon and zapped it in the microwave, but if you're just gonna use regular bacon, you wanna just fry it up. You can just empty out the ground beef, and you can fry up the bacon in the pan as well, so you have less dishes to wash. And we wanna go ahead and get that bacon cooked and crumbled, because we kinda want it to cool off a little bit too. And you can just crumble it by hand, or you can just run a knife through it, which is what I'm gonna do today. Once you have it all chopped up, then you're just gonna move it to the side and let it cool completely, so that way we can mix it in when it's time. So I just cut up the bacon, I got that finished. We're gonna set it aside so it can cool completely, and now we're going to make the dressing. It's a super simple combination, and the combination might be just a little weird for you, but trust me, when it all comes together, it's going to be delicious. I'm just gonna get my spatula. We're gonna start off with a cup of mayo. You want to use just regular mayonnaise, not like Miracle Whip. Then we need a half a cup of barbecue sauce. Any kind of barbecue sauce will work. My motto has always been to save money. Use your cheap barbecue sauce in your recipes, and use your fancy barbecue sauce like for serving. Like if you're making like smoked chicken or something like that, and you want to dip it in afterwards, because you just need all the flavors, and since it's gonna mix in, don't use your expensive barbecue sauce. Then we have Worcestershire sauce, a teaspoon of hot sauce, and a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. I love me some Dijon. Then we're going to do 1 teaspoon of cumin. I've got a half a teaspoon here because at our house, the teaspoon disappears all the time. I don't know why. And then Salt and pepper to taste. I'm just gonna start off with like a pinch, and then we'll just kind of taste test it and see if we need a little more. Then we're just gonna whisk this together. It's all combined. We're gonna do a quick taste test to see if we need anything else, but I think it tastes perfect. It's actually quite delicious, and honestly, it would be so good on a burger. So save a little bit on the side to make you a burger next time for your dressing, or keep it in the fridge. Okay, so now this is finished. It's all mixed. We're gonna set this aside so we can get everything ready to combine our pasta salad. We need a red onion. We're just gonna need half an onion for this recipe. You could do any onion, honestly. I just think the red onion or purplish color looks really pretty in a pasta salad, but white or yellow will work good. It just won't be as pretty, and that's okay. So when you do an onion, I cut the ends off and then cut it in half. Get the peel off completely. Then we're gonna dice it up. We actually have a video that's really popular on how to dice an onion. It's a game changer for dicing your onions so you're not making a huge mess. So you're gonna lay it flat, and then you're gonna start running your knife through, but as you can see, you don't go all the way through. So let me show you on this one. I'm gonna do it 2 more times. And see how we didn't go all the way through. Then on the side that is all the way through, you wanna start chopping it, but you see how I'm at a diagonal? Because I'm trying to follow the curve of the red onions. Then once you get to this end, you fold it over, run your knife through it, and then turn it. So that way you just have those little pieces that need to be chopped up. You're going to need a really large bowl, the biggest bowl you can find, so that way you have room to mix everything in. So now we're just gonna add these red onions into that bowl. So we're gonna be doing some chopping. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in the bacon too. You can throw everything into the bowl except for the sauce. I'm gonna go ahead, that way I can clean up a little bit and get the pasta in here. See how much that pasta fills it up? So that's why you need to make sure you have a big bowl. Now we need a green bell pepper that we are going to dice up. You can do it small, but I kind of like them a little bit bigger than my red onions because you kind of want good sized pieces when you're eating your salad. Off to the bowl it goes. And remember, we kind of did a little bit bigger, but you can do smaller. You decide how you want to chop up your veggies for your pasta salad. Some people like them really small. Some people like them, a little bit bigger. Now we just need 8 ounces of cherry tomatoes or like grape tomatoes. Now we do have a fun little trick on how to cut these. We had a video that went viral a long time ago with it on there. So what you do when you want to cut a whole bunch of tomatoes is you're going to need 2 of the same plates. Okay, then you're going to take the first plate and put it upside down so the back is on the back side. Then you're going to lay your tomatoes right on top. And you're probably like, what is this crazy lady doing? But it actually works really well and I love it. Get it all right on top, and then you're going to take your next plate and the back side, you're going to put it right on top. So you have a sandwich of the back sides touching each other with them in front. Then you take your hand and you press it down pretty firm and then run your knife straight through. Oh, a couple fell out. I probably put too many in there, but that's okay. Then once you lift it up, it cut all of them all at once. Now I did use this kind of knife, and I kind of prefer a serrated knife. It does a little bit better. Like a bread knife would work really, really well. This is kind of my favorite trick. Now I think I just loaded it a little too full, so maybe do it in 2 batches, but it just saves you so much time on slicing your tomatoes. We're gonna toss those into the bowl as well. And then we need corn and black beans, a can of each. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up the corn, and then we're going to drain it. My hands are a little wet from the tomato juice. So what I do when I drain it, I just kind of hold the lid down and then pour it into the sink and get it all out. You can pour it in a colander if you want to, but just make sure your colander has really small holes. And then we're gonna toss that into the bowl. See how full it's getting? Then we need a can of black beans. Now this one we do have to toss it into a colander and then rinse it. And the reason is if we just dump this in here, the whole pasta salad will turn black, and that's gross. So if you want it to keep pretty and it kind of helps with the sodium content, we're going to actually put them in a colander and then rinse them off. Make sure your colander has the smaller holes, and then we're just gonna dump those beans in and then run water right on top. I like to get my hands in there and move them around just to make sure that we get all of that black kind of goopiness, is what I call it. I made that word up. It's completely off of it. And we're ready to add to the bowl. We're gonna toss this into the bowl. We're almost done, friends. Now you need an 8-ounce block of cheddar cheese. You can do sharp, you can do mild, and you can even change the cheese. We like the cheddar, but any kind will work when you're doing the cheese. Like any kind will work. Pepper jack would be amazing. Colby jack would be amazing. So if you just have some in your fridge, you can use that. Now you're gonna wanna just take your block and lay it down, and then you decide how you want your thickness. I kind of like my cheeses a little bit thicker than some, and you're gonna go through all the way down. Then when you get these done, I like to do them lengthwise. I'm doing 2 at a time just to make it faster. And then I pile them up because I'm trying to make this as fast as possible. And we're gonna cut these into thirds. Now, if you want smaller ones, you can. And honestly, if you want to be really lazy, you can buy the pre-cubed at the grocery store if you want to. I just feel like these taste better. I don't know why. The entire block is cut up, and I'm just separating them. And then we're gonna sprinkle them in. Now, the reason I'm saying sprinkle them in is because you don't want them still touching. That way they'll stay separated when you mix it all together. So you want these pretty cubes throughout. And again, you decide how big or how small you want on your pasta salad. I'm in the mood for a little bit chunkier cheese today because I didn't want to chop so much. It's the bigger the piece of cheese, the less chopping you have to do. So I ran into a problem, and my bowl is just not big enough, as you can see. It'll be big enough to store it and to serve it, but not to mix it up. So what I'm gonna do, we're just gonna troubleshoot this together, is I'm gonna put half of that into this bowl, and that'll make it easier, and then we can combine them when we're ready to serve. Oh, wait, before I separate it, let's just give it a quick stir, so that way we're separating the ingredients more equally. So we're gonna kind of combine them without the beef or the sauce, just a gentle stir, so that way when we put half of it in the other bowl, we have a little bit more equal distribution of color. But look how pretty it already looks. Like, there's so much color, and I feel like the more colorful the pasta salad is, the better it is. You should have a little bit of something different in every single bite. Okay, so that one, see, I'm already making a mess. That's why we need to switch it to another bowl. So I'm using another bowl that's about the same size, and we're just gonna scoop about half of it in there. And we're just eyeballing it. It's a pasta salad, it doesn't have to be perfect. And this just goes to show how much this makes. So you can easily cut this pasta salad in half if you'd like. I got that done. So now we're going to do our ground beef that's been cooled, and I'm gonna do half in this bowl and half in this bowl. Then we will need our sauce that we made earlier. We're gonna do half in this bowl and half in the other bowl. And remember, we're just eyeballing it. And if you're afraid that you're not gonna love the sauce, you don't have to use all of the sauce. Remember, you can save some of the sauce for your burgers or for fry dipping. Then we're gonna mix it together. Since it makes a large, I just can't wait. I have to try a bite. Don't judge me. This is so good, friends. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Since it makes such a large amount, it's actually not as saucy as you think. But again, you can't take away sauce. So if you're kind of nervous on it being too saucy and you're not used to that, then just add half and then taste it and then add a little bit more as you need it. Now that's another little trick I'm gonna tell you. Now, once you've mixed this all up, we're gonna store this in the fridge and keep it cold until you're ready to serve. But the problem is that pasta salad, as it sits, it soaks up all the sauce and it's not as saucy and fresh. So if you're making this like the morning of a gathering, it's gonna be sitting in the fridge all day. Whereas we recommend, letting it stay in the fridge for an hour or two to get all the flavors combined and to be nice and cold when you serve it. But if it's gonna be sitting a while, what I recommend is actually only put half your sauce on there, put it in the fridge with your sauce, and then right before you serve it, top it off with a little bit more sauce and do a quick stir. And it tastes like you just made it, but you made it, 5 hours earlier. Little tip from the pros. Okay, it looks like they're mixed well, so now they're gonna go into the fridge before we're ready to serve. So it all fit back into that big bowl. Remember, we just separated it just for the, to mix it up. So it still fit in my big bowl, and look how beautiful it looks. We've had it chilling. I can't stop munching on it, guys. We've had it chilling in the fridge. And then right before you serve it, we want you to add some green onions. That's gonna give it a nice little crisp and more of that onion flavor. I'm just gonna run my knife through about 5 of these real quick. You don't wanna mix them in before because they'll get all soft and soggy. So you could chop them up before and just put them in a container in the fridge, and then you just toss them with it and you're ready to go. We're gonna sprinkle these onions right on. It's quite a bit, so I'm gonna do a quick mix. Woo, they smell good, but it just adds an extra layer of yumminess on this salad. Bro, don't forget, you can get the full recipe linked in the description, or you can go to eatingonadime.com and search Cowboy Pasta Salad. Now it's ready to serve. I'm gonna scoop up some on a plate because I can't wait any longer. As you can tell, I've been munching on it. You just wanna make sure you get a little bit of everything on your plate. But look how pretty it looks. It's super fun and tasty. It's a fun twist to traditional pasta salad. If you've gone to barbecues and family gatherings and potlucks, it's the same old pasta salad every single time. Jazz it up this time and try our Cowboy Pasta Salad. Remember, the link is in the description. But also, friend, don't forget, like and subscribe our video, or like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of our family-friendly recipes. I was getting pasta, but I need to get some other stuff with the pasta. Rookie mistake. Thanks so much for joining me, friends, and I'll see you next time in my kitchen. Bye, friends. Oh yeah, that's so good.